Democratic Day Data Archive. In the past week, the Helldivers have proved once again that they are the galaxy's greatest fighting force, saving Liberty Day with just minutes to spare, and continuing the longest consecutive defense streak of a single planet so far in this war. Where we last left off, the previous major order called for the liberation of Marfark and Zosma to secure the illegally owned stockpiles of explosives hoarded by the automatons. These munitions were vital for the upcoming Super Earth Patriotic Pyrotechny display. However, determined to ensure the disappointment of every innocent child across the Federation, the automatons launched a series of terror strikes led by the Jet Brigade. But Super Earth's finest answered with decisive force, scattering the Jet Brigade to the scrap heap and shutting down another advance on Yulheim. But their victory came at the cost of time. With just over a day and a half remaining to secure the explosives, the Helldivers now faced an impossible schedule. The galaxy's most obedient fighting force did not waver. In a miraculous turn of events, Beckham 3 was liberated in only 19 hours, leaving another 19 for Marfark. As the clock bled into its final minutes, the automatons threw everything they had to prevent the joy of innocent children across the galaxy. And freedom did not sleep. With only 40 minutes to spare, Marfark was liberated. Liberty Day was saved. Over the course of the 6-day campaign, the Helldivers achieved the impossible, liberating 4 planets, halting 2 automaton offensives, and annihilating the Jet Brigade in its entirety. Their actions ensured not only the safety of countless Super Earth families, but the preservation of a sacred holiday. The Super Earth Super Nostalgic Pyrotechny display will proceed as planned. Citizens across the Federation will once again celebrate Liberty Day with a continuous 24-hour pyrotechny display, honoring the long-standing tradition of freedom through superior firepower. Applications for the Liberty Day celebratory Super Earth Visa raffle for gifted children are now flooding in, guaranteeing that heaps of Liberty Day magic will be distributed among the most deserving young citizens of our colonies. Following yet another successful major order, no new directives were issued. However, a renewed Terminid outbreak erupted on Hellmire, once again threatening Gloom Base Alpha, our most critical forward position within the Gloom. Since the invasion of the Hive World, the Gloom has continued to spread, slowly enveloping planet after planet. Throughout the last 7 weeks, the Gloom has claimed 6 additional worlds. Helldivers were rapidly deployed to the defense of Gloom Base Alpha, and just like every time before, the base was once again secured, and new orders followed shortly afterwards. Following weeks of preparations, the Super Earth Armed Forces stand at the brink of liberating the Terminid Hive World.
The Osha Une system.
However, Terminid assaults on Gloom Base Alpha have been relentless, should it fall during the liberation of the Hive.
Osha Une system.
How? How could it be possibly pronounced Osha Une? Look at it. What does that say?
The Osha Une system.
Alright, Helldiver, you've got that part cut out?
Bugs.
Great. The Helldivers are to liberate Errata Prime and Astanu to insulate Hellmire from further Terminid attacks. Deployments commenced on Errata Prime, however it was not long before Hellmire was once again under siege. Since its establishment as Super Earth's forward base within the Gloom, Hellmire has come under attack 6 times. Each assault has tested the limits of the Helldivers, yet each time, the line was held. And this time would be no different, as a new strategic advisory was issued. The liberation of Astanu would halt the ongoing assault on Hellmire, securing both objectives simultaneously. And with this information laid out clearly to the Helldivers, redeployments occurred immediately to defend our forward base. What in Liberty? Helldiver, you read this?
Bugs.
Okay, so based on what it says, where would you go?
Bugs.
Wait, hold on. So it says that if Astanu is liberated, we could defend Hellmire without having to go to Hellmire. So then, it would make the most sense to deploy to...
Bugs.
Helldiver, come here for a second. Sorry about that data archive, a couple more hiccups than usual today. Although it may have seemed like Gloom Base Alpha was in grave danger, any concerns were dashed the moment the DSS redeployed and activated the heavy ordnance distribution. And within just a few hours, the power of the DSS accelerated our defense progress by more than double. And for the 7th time in a row, the Helldivers have successfully defended Hellmire. With the HOD still active for another 12 hours, the Helldivers wasted no time. Forces returned from Hellmire, reinforcing Errata Prime. and in a trademark display of Helldiver efficiency, both Errata Prime and Astani were liberated within the next 24 hours. Gloomblaze Alpha was secured. With Hellmire now completely protected, the Gloom's advance was slowed, but it did not stop. Yet another outbreak occurred on Crux, threatening to envelop it completely. And at the same time, the Illuminate continued to press further into the Rigel sector, with an attack into RD4. The focus of the Helldiver Corps remained fixed on containing the Gloom, but before the defense of Crux could complete, yet another assault began on Hellmire, this time coming from the Hive World. This attack carried both the Dragon Roach and Predator strain, and to make matters worse, a second offensive erupted on Taric, stretching Helldiver deployments thin across multiple fronts. Current projections indicate that Taric will hold, but reinforcements are urgently required to secure Hellmire for the 8th time in a row. It is also of note that sufficient funding of the Eagle Storm will likely guarantee the safety of both planets. But it is critical that we stabilize the front and protect Gloomblaze Alpha to ensure that the free galaxy can once again celebrate Liberty Day without interruption. That's all for now, Data Archive. We're deploying Helldivers to defend Gloomblaze Alpha.